Say I'm live. All right. So I think several days ago I started live streaming domain modeling, for lack of a better term, in Azure. Well, an event store that would run on Azure Functions. Right. I think that's what I want to do, and this is a continuation of it. The truth is I'm not really motivated to do this. However, there I wasn't able to find a solution within Azure to host an event store specifically for serverless, or should I say Azure Functions. And so because I don't really see that support, not saying that it doesn't exist, but I don't see it specifically for Azure Functions, I decided to go ahead and write one myself. Um, that's it. So I'm sharing my screen right now. And I have a test right here called Create Event. And there's a couple things that I added on to this test that I haven't ran yet, which is the teardown part for the the database, or should I say the table storage. If I check to see if my emulator is even running, so I have let me go back. So I have Azure Storage Explorer and I have Azure Storage Emulator. My emulator appears to be running. My Azure Storage Explorer, if I hit refresh, there's no data in that. I don't know what that's about. Let me close that. Okay. And so theoretically, I should be able to run this test for create event. It should create an event and then it should delete everything in here without any issues. So if I go ahead and do run on here, and theoretically it should work, but I know because I added this teardown part, it'll probably throw an exception, which would ultimately fail the test. But it didn't fail, and which means that I shouldn't have any data in here because of the teardown. But I do have data in here, some stream, some JSON. Okay, and if I hit refresh again, it's still in here. Okay, so what happened? Why didn't this delete work? Do I even have an implementation of delete in here? And so here's a delete right here. Okay, next question is this table dot delete entity. Does this actually execute? Do I have to call something else in order for this to execute? Um, in order to find that out, here's an update entity over here. And there we go, execute a sync. Call an operation. So this thing right here, I should probably add to my right below my delete. Something about is when I had that in here. Hold on 1 second. That's the operation right there. Okay, so I need to go back up here for my delete, and there should be I'm getting lost again. There should be something like let operation equal. Okay, so that's the table operation that I need to pass in as an argument. And so then some notion of a cloud table. Okay, so let's let's call this file table. Make the compiler happy. Let's bring this up here. Let's bring this over one notch. And then we can check to see. All right, get rid of that. If I do that, this result over here, I don't know what this result's supposed to be. I'm just going to say okay and use a unit. Okay, so then let's try this again. Let me go ahead and delete this. Hopefully I'm just deleting that and not the table itself. So then I could run this test again in debug mode. Okay. And then if I go back over here and do a refresh, theoretically, should be anything here. And there's nothing here. Okay. Update the wording in here. Fail to delete if there is an error. All right. And that is done. If I go back to my system under test, aka my test method, well, it's not AKA. System under test is completely different from my test method. But if I go to my test method, which is right here, this is what I need. This is something weird. Like, I'm not motivated to work on this at all, right? At least not this part. The only thing that motivates me is I've been building this mobile delivery app for like almost a year now. And now, because of this pandemic, me pushing this out, this service or this product out can be really useful because I mean, most of the infrastructure for this mobile delivery piece is done, right? So, but the thing is I just tap out and I just start working on it. But if I live stream, for whatever reason, psychologically, it I'm more engaged, I'm more interested. Or even when I'm like talking on Skype, I'll purposely share my screen. It has nothing to do with the conversation whatsoever, but it motivates me to write code. I don't know. I guess I'm just hella competitive. All right. So what did I accomplish? I accomplished creating an event, and yeah, that's it. Now, what I want to do next, and the teardown of the test of creating that event. Now, what I want to do next is, and this teardown code can probably be consolidated to its own function. I wish I could just do Control Alt M, but I can't. Um, like I don't really care right now. Like just give me this. All right, and so then another test that I need is reading an event stream, meaning that yeah, so here we go right here. That's the same thing, right? Meaning that not only do I create an event, but then I read that event, and then I do a cleanup or a tear down of my test harness. So if I put that on my clipboard and then paste that into my test, uh, and here's another test that I can run. And I already proved that I could create an event, but now I want to read an event. Okay. And here's my verification right here that the very first item in my result that I call stream should I say should equal some stream ID, but I know that's not going to be right. Um, well, it's a secret. This hold up. This is a table entry. Okay, table entry dot head. Yeah, so I already know this isn't right. So then we say let stream stream number equals, and then we can say sequence dot head, something like this. That's a table entity, and then I should be able to say something to the notion of this dot. There we go. It's interesting. It looks like I have to cast this to a stream to a event entity, right? So right now this is going to be a question mark, right? Because I'm not done with it. But theoretically, I should be able to do this. I should be able to. How do I do this? I should be able to do something like, and then event entity like that. And it doesn't like when I do that. Because I don't think I do this. I don't think I can do that. But the compiler says, sure, I can. I don't think I can, but I always get confused about upcasting and downcasting. I know that I use this syntax right here whenever I want to cast to a interface, right? And I use this a lot for I command within the system.windows namespace for a delegate command or anything that's dealing with uh, XAML and data binding. In regards to my view model, I use this character or this operator, whatever you want to call it. But then I use this when I'm dealing with specific classes and not interfaces. But the compiler is basically saying that it's okay with this, and I feel like this isn't right, but I'm just gonna let it be for right now. And then the stream item should now have a stream ID right here, and then I should say it should equal some stream ID, which is data transfer, but this is a string. So then I should be able to. There's a couple ways I could do this. I could, if this is already a stream ID type, I could just do. I'm not gonna make it too complicated. There's a couple ways I can do this, but I'm just gonna say value from stream ID and just do that right there. So that's the verification. I don't know if it's worth me putting that stage explicitly in here. Maybe. If I do that, then maybe I should just. Oh, I didn't mean to build. Maybe I should just do that right there. But then this gets pretty sloppy, right? So I like the other way. Okay. So then put a breakpoint right here to see if this ceremony actually works. I don't think it will, but the compiler says it's fine. And I don't want to think about why I think it shouldn't work. Like I don't want to try to figure out the compiler and pretend I'm a compiler because my brain hurts because I already worked today on my gainfully employed project, so I don't want to think. Um, so let's read event stream. Let me just go ahead and run it. So that right there, I could do Control RT as well. But my experience is when I do Control RT, it tries to execute all the other tests in addition to the tests that I have the context on. All right, so no runtime errors. I have the stream item. And then if I do that, yeah, it passes. Okay. So then if I go to my Azure Storage Explorer, hit refresh, I don't have anything in here because my teardown succeeded. Read event stream test right here succeeded. Okay. All right. And like all this can be cleaned up, right? And it could, for readability, um, this can be refactored, but I don't care about it right now. I just want I just want my test to tell me. I want my test to guide me to let me know what's working. And I'm the only person working on this, so I really don't need to make this legible for anybody else. If I were being paid professionally, that would be a different story. But I'm not being paid professionally. It's just me, right? So now what? Um, Almost always I don't have any viewers, but if I just check here, and yeah, I don't have any viewers. Every once in a while, I'll check the whatever page, and it says I have an observer. And then when I'm done with the live stream, someone asked me a question, and I never even checked it. But I don't have anybody on there right now. All right. So what's next? So I'll read an event from a stream. Test passes. Now, something that is in the corner of my mind is that I should be able to not just read an event back, but I need to be able to, as I'm building out this API, I need to be able to specify the stream that I want to play, right? Or translate it. Not only should I be able to create an event that has a property called stream ID, right? But I should be able to query my table store based on the specific stream ID. And then from there, I can stream my events to hydrate a system into a particular state. I like the way I said that, right? All right, so in order to accomplish that, I need to copy paste this, right? Uh, so now I say get get what? Get stream from what? From stream ID, maybe something like that. Okay. Get stream via stream ID by stream ID. Um. Okay. So now what? So now we have all this right here, which I don't really care about. Uh, how? Where's all this stuff being used at? Connection strings needed. Table name. I know it's being needed. Table. All that stuff is needed. Okay. Um. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that right. I'm gonna leave that for right now. I'm not gonna try to consolidate this because I mean the first thing that comes up in my mind is I could create a function that returns not really a tuple. Well, I always think tuple is like two items, but basically it returns a three-element tuple. Um, I mean, I could do that. but I don't really think I'm accomplishing anything besides saving 2 lines. And that one line that I do have is going to be pretty long, especially if I want to maintain the names of the values that I'm using. So no, keep that. Well, all right. So what I could do is I could just shift all of this. Um, so what I could do is I could just really take this out of the test method and just lift it up here. That's what I could do. Um, if I did that, then the test no longer has everything that's required uh, or that is explicit for everything that's required in order for this test to be successful. Like now you have to reach outside the scope of this test to figure out what a table name is, what the connection string is, right? So, but the thing is maybe that's okay because all this is scoped to an event table, and that's it. I'm kind of on the fence about that. So this, I could rename this table name event table. So if I did that, I said event. Try this one more time. Nope, go up here. When I do Control RR, should be able to do that, but it immediately loses context. So if I just try to do it through the file editor and then do this like that, um, maybe I'll just, this is within the document, do that, and maybe that's okay. Okay. So that makes it a little bit better. What else? Connection string, some event. Yeah, that seems fine. So now what I can do is I can just get rid of all this here. And same thing here. There's no setup here. Just test. Okay. All right. What else, Willis? Well, we still want to control the model should close everything. We just want to focus on this right here. Okay. All right. So now what? And so I want to get a stream by stream ID. I create some event. And then after I create the event, which means that I only create an event if it's persisted to some storage table, then I want to read that event in, right? It looks like right here I pass in the stream ID. And then I verify, blah, 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 blah. So it looks like I already do the test, but I'm not confident that I'm actually filtering on the actual stream ID. I almost know for a fact that I'm not. Um, this get events async passing in the stream ID. Let me close that and open up this. The stream ID isn't being used. Okay. So this is where I need to take advantage of filters for a table query. And if I'm able to get this done in this recording session, then I'm content for today. And it shouldn't be that complicated, but when I was surfing the net yesterday and I saw the ceremony, I got turned off to it. All right. So if I pull up this over here and I do Google on Azure table storage, and I need to do a something like filter on what? Filter on a, in this case, it's going to be a row, it's going to be a partition key because that's what my stream ID should be mapped to. And then I think this over here. So how do I do this? Oh, this isn't code at all. This is all like, I mean, this might work, but this isn't what I was looking for, like a code centric way of doing this and not doing it through. I mean, actually, that might be a lot easier. Hold on, let me go back. Like, I mean, I could create a web API request and do it that way, but I thought that looks very simple. It just seems like I would probably spend some time to figure out how to do something that simple. What I really want to do is Azure Storage Table. What's this over here? That's not that's not what I'm looking for. To query, generate filter. Okay, hold up. What's this right here? I have a table query where table query that generate filter condition. They have partition key. Query comparisons greater than or equal to greater than or equal, and then partition key passed in. I think this is what I'm looking for. Yeah, I think this is what I need. In my case, my query comparison is just equal. Let me see. So theoretically, I should just be able to do. I don't know what this up here is. I gotta think this out. Before I had all this, hold up, go back. Before I had all this, all this comes out, right? So now what I'm trying to do, like something like this. So me, do this, do that, comment that out, go back here, do that. Okay. And over here they say var query equals new. Okay. So what's the issue over here? Possible incorrect indentation. Okay. Okay. Now what else is wrong? Says the value is unused. No, I'll use the value down here. So there's no, this isn't being used anywhere because this needs to be that right here. Okay. Why else aren't you being used? The block following this let is unfinished. Every code block is an expression must have a result. Let cannot be the final code. Okay, so what, do I just need to keep indenting? All right. What's the issue? Um, just generate filter condition name operation. I want this to be equal. Okay. And it'd be nice if it ignored. Well, nah, that should be fine. Uh, why aren't you? What else? What else do I need? Stream ID. Execute query segmented. Blah blah. What's the second argument right here? Is a token. All right, supposedly I don't need that right now. All right. So storage table. Did I need a storage table at all? Yeah, I do, and that's right here. It's called cloud table. All right. Well, that doesn't matter. I'll just call it cloud table. That doesn't resolve my compile error. All right. So what else? Everything. All this stuff lines up right here. Okay. And it's supposed to return what? It's supposed to return. Looks like it doesn't matter. All right. So what if I just comment that out and I just say unit? All right. Well, now it says unmatched down here. So the next question is, do I have system.link even loaded in here? Nope. So then I do open system.link. All right. And does that kind of resolve my situation? Nope. All right. So let me figure this out. Do I need to, I don't know. This is me like just throwing crap on the wall now. I don't know how to get past this. Over here they say query equals new table query my entity dot where. I have query new table query dot where. Hold up. And they have a boom. Oh, hold up. It looks like I just need that. Okay. So I was missing a parentheses. So theoretically, can I just do that? That, something like that. Okay. Now I still get all these indentation thingies. All right. So I don't. Let me see. Possible incorrect indentation. This token is off. So okay. So does it want me to go all the way up here? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like that. You really want me to do all this? Okay. That. And if I do that, then theoretically, this should be fine. Okay. And this is supposed to be called cloud table. Okay. Now what? Well, I don't know about that. If I if I if I do something like this, it's a little bit readable. And if I put you back up here, and then I push you up there, okay. Question is, if I put a left parenthesis right here and delete the left parenthesis down here, are you still going to squigglies? No. Okay. And all right, so I think I'm okay with that. I'll put a little bit of space in here. I think I'm okay with that. But hold up. I could just make this a. I can put this on its own individual line. So I can say, like, call this foo, then say let foo equal, and then do that. And that's fine, right? Okay. Do I really want to call it foo? No. I want to call it where stream ID filter, maybe something like this. Okay. Okay. Something like that. Now what? Well, I have that in there. I should be straight. Now the issue is case sensitive, but should I be concerned with that? I think I don't think I should be concerned with that, right? I mean, it could be all too lower, and I could put that in. Yeah, I'm not going to be concerned with that. The question is, will this read event stream still work? I think it should, because I think this is right. All right, my partition key, my row key is an arbitrary GUID. My partition key should be the stream ID. And if I wanted to check that, I could just go back to this test, and I should be able to. Here's the partition key right here, and it is assigned to the stream ID. All right, so if I run this, then I should be good, right? Well, that's read event stream. And that's fine. This get stream by ID is the exact same test. So get stream by stream ID is the read event stream test, except it has better naming. So if I do that, I mean, it should be identical, right? If it doesn't pass, then yeah. All right. So now I get rid of all this. Build my Azure Explorer should not have anything in it in regards to the event. Yep, it's good stuff. Now what? So that was get stream by ID. Next is we should probably focus on the order. Okay. So what I mean by the order is that not only should I be able to get a stream by ID, but the next test should be that stream, event stream maintains order of events, something like that. Okay. In order for this test to be successful, we now have multiple events. So within my mock, I have some other events. Okay, so like that. And so then we have this right here. Right, some string ID, some event type, some metadata, blah, 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 blah. And we can just slice right through here and say some other like that. And then we can just slice right through that value and say some other like that. Yeah. Okay. What else? Well, all right. So now we have two types of events. We have some event and then we have some other event, right? So now theoretically, I should be able to create one event, and then I should be able to create another event. And maybe all the scaffolding right here, maybe I don't need that right now. But or maybe this is going to be a new function in which where maybe the function is called create events, and it just gives you a stream. But that doesn't. Well, no, it could, because you can have the list of events that get emitted from an operation, and now you just want to persist it. So I do think that we have a new function to create. And so this could be called, well, we already have a create async. It takes an event, blah, blah, blah. I could either modify this and make this a sequence of events or a list of events, or I could create a separate function that has an almost identical signature, except instead of one event, it has a sequence of events or a list of events, and it will ultimately call this. My thought process is if I want to follow the open close principle, open for extension but close for modification, then I believe that if I want to take advantage of that, then I just leave that untouched and just extend it by creating another function that will depend on this original one. So I'll have create multiple. I'll just say create ordered, whatever you want to call it. Create list or create sequence. There we go. Yeah, baby. All right, create sequence. And so now this takes an event sequence. Okay. And this will get rid of all this right here. And this is events. Okay. So then one can say, oh, shucks. Honestly, we don't even need to do that. Well, I mean, we could. I'm deciding if I really need to have this function even here in the first place, or if I could just do all this in the client and have the client just take let me just show you what I'm going to do. So I have events, and then I have a sequence dot map. Okay. And let me just call the process. It's going to be it's going to be all this stuff matters. Connection and table. Let's call it table. So what we can do is I have to think about what I'm doing. All I want to do is just call this up here for each event that I have. And this just looks weird right now. Yeah, because events is only an event. It doesn't have all these arguments on here. Okay, so it'll just look like this right here. And then I would have a create async, put that E right there, and then just put everything else back like that. Okay, and what would that do? Well, that's going to return a list of results. So let results equal, yeah, okay. And if successful, then each of those results are going to be the event ID, I believe. But now we just want to say that if I successfully map these events that I want to create into the actual storage of those events, if I'm able to do all that successfully, then I really want to do afterwards is I want to do something like get rid of results. And what I really want to do is I just want to do a sequence dot choose. Okay. And how is that going to work? Well, I should be able to say for each result in operation that was recently for each result in the previous operation of create a sync, I should be able to like pattern match on that result. All right, I say choose, but choose only works for option types, right? Um, in this case, a result is okay or error. So you have like, let me throw something up here. Let foo. Let's just do the ceremony for right now. R is your result, right? That's the actual core result. Okay, equals. And then, well, if I do function right here, then I can get rid of that right there. And I could say that this is going to be a error message. And you say none. Or you could say it's going to be some. In this case, value. And you say some. All right. Okay. And so I don't know what a good name for foo is, But what I kind of want to do is like this right here. It doesn't like that right now. So then I could say uh, R foo like that. And I say air and I say some. I need to put that right there. Okay, something like that. And what else? We don't care about that. And I need help. So what's my result type looking like now? As I just stick that in there for right now. It is a sequence of objects. That's not what I want. So I need to figure out how this thing is going to work. So it doesn't like foo. The result is a async. Okay. So this right here, this create async, whatever, whatever, whatever. This really needs to be a like I need to do like a match like this. It doesn't go in there like that yet. So this might actually have to be I might have to break this out into all right. So first let me call this and it says what do I want to call this? I'll just call this handle for right now. I can't think of a good name yet. I need to take this right here, this map, and I need to actually probably extract that out and say let create uh, let I don't know whatever you want to call it perform whatever, and this is going to take that event the event okay let's fill it out event and what that is going to do is here I can say match create a sync event with okay, and then from there it'll be I don't even have to say match. I should just say return, something like that. Okay. So if I do that in there, then that means that I have to do a async commutation expression. Throw that in here. Okay. And okay. Something like that. Okay. So theoretically, I theoretically should be able to do this right here, where I can say that, and then put the E right here. Yep. Which means theoretically I can get rid of this. All right, now what? Well, have async. Why am I still getting this? Do I put in a return here? Nope. Okay, so I need to right here say async dot run run synchronously. Okay. And so then that's going to return. Okay. Now here's the thing. The whole point of this is to figure out if these, that's not the whole point, but I wanted to figure out if there's any items that they air it out, and I want to return the okay or error. So this is really a sequence dot for all. Okay. And this is going to be, if it's an error, then it is a false. And if it's not, do that there. It's not, and it's if everything's okay, it's a true, right? Something like that. Okay. So we can say, now how do we want to do this? I'm almost there. Okay. So then I could say function, and then I could say false, but return the error. Error. And say what? Say fail to create an event. That's all I need for right now until I can think of something else. If it's true, then I say, okay, maybe I'll return yeah, maybe I'll return that. Okay. Now what, Willis? Well, let's pretend we don't need that result right now. Let's just push this back. Now what? I think this should be good. We probably need to return it. So I might have to say that. And push this over here. Maybe I need to say that this is a result dot. Okay. Oh man, I'm so smart. Okay. So now for all, we can get rid of that. Okay. Now what will this? If I do that right there, draw this back like this. Yeah. Okay. Now what will this? And for all what? I want to for all successful is successful. Good stuff like that. Okay. Control Shift V. I'm killing myself right now. And I spell it is successful. Wrong. It's not too. Come here. It's not too used and successful. All right, come here. Got that in there. All right. Control Shift V. Yeah. All right. So I got this create sequence. You give it some events, pass it a connection string, the table name, and it just takes off and it does its thing. And I try to keep with this open close principle, open for extension, close for modification. I don't molest this create async. I don't modify it. All right, now if I go back to my test, then I'm almost I'm in the zone right now. If I go back to my test, event stream maintains order of events. This is the test that I'm working on. What I really want to do is I want to take this create sequence async, is this right here, and this is effed up. What I would like to do, no, it's not. I'm good. What I'd like to do is say let events equals, and I'll say sequence, and then I can say some events, and then I can say some other events. That's okay. And then I can just pass this in here, just like this. Wow, just like that. Okay. Now what will this? Well, let me see. Can I just push this over like that? Nope, I don't like it. All right. So now what? Um, these events. I'm just going to migrate that to my mock. I just want to make that a first class member of my mock, like that. Okay. And rename it to some events like this. Come here. Some events like that. Okay. And so then we can just say some events like that. Yeah, I like it. Okay. And so then we have our blah blah blah. That's successful. Then we have our. This is now a units. So care about that, my friend. We did tear down. In regards to tear down, yeah, this is the issue right here. But we just want to delete everything in the table. We want to delete everything in the table. So, like, we don't care about a row key. We just care about the partition key. Let me get rid of this right here. Okay. Get rid of that right there. So if we go down here, and we're just going to say delete all entities that have this particular partition key. Come here. So we're going to have a new function called delete entities. That's really all right. So man, we don't care about a row key. Okay. Retrieve. All right. So this retrieve. Do you really need to have a row key? We just want to delete everything and then hold up. Let me see. Retrieve result, and then we. I just want to retrieve everything that has a partition key. I don't care about the row key. So if I put a dot on that retrieve, like, are you overloaded? Are you overloaded? You are overloaded. Okay. So there's a partition key, row key. I don't care about row key. Okay. So row key is in all of them. Okay. So if I go to my trusty Google, and looking at me. All right. If I go to my trusty Google and I say Azure storage table, and I want to say delete records for partition key, something like that. Delete all Azure table records. You can speed up the process by fetching partition key row key. Best friend. Can I delete an entire partition and yeah. Can I have set of rows in a partition that represents some cache data. I want to refresh that cache without any concern for what is already there. Is it possible to delete an entire partition without having to do any selects? They say no, but you can delete an entire table with one call. So you might consider making your partitions separate tables instead. But of course you can't do cross table queries. Okay. Okay. In this case, I'm only doing teardown, right? So this is saying that consider having a table per partition, which is translated. Consider having a table per stream ID, and my stuff is just if I look for a create method, my stuff is I think it's just one table. Well, yeah, it's just one table, and my partition is. Of course, I don't see it here. Create a sync. That's not what I was looking for anyway. That's not what I was looking for. I only have one table called events. I don't want to create a table for every stream. So Azure Storage Table, delete records. All right, what else is in here? They have. If I already know the partition key and row key of an entity, you don't have to load it first. The fastest way is to use the cloud table directly in a dynamic table entity like this. So they have get table reference the table, and then they have they have dynamic table entity. Okay. And then they say execute delete entity. All right. So my question is, can I have dynamic table entity and not set by the row key? So basically, where am I at? Expand this delete entities and partition key, row key, partition key, row key. Yeah, everything needs a row key. So the next question is, how do I query all the records that belong to a partition key? Let me keep reading this. If you want to delete a collection of entities which you don't know the row keys, then yeah, this is what I want. Then you will need to load the entities first and use a batch operation to delete the entities. Also, you don't need to load all properties of the entities. Okay, we just need to know the row key so we can, again, use the same technique as above. Okay. So then they have a query. Okay. Okay. So they have something like, let me do this. Boom, 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 boom. We do this. I'm going to ultimately call this, but okay. All this was just copy paste, right? So what I can try to do is say to be a let that I can get rid of this new. Yeah, I can. Stable query disposal. I'll find out later. So let me just put all this on one line. Put this on one line. And then map filter reduce. The select is really a map. I don't know what this is right here. But they have a, let me just put something down here for right now. Let me put a return error to do something like that. Okay. And put this down here. And this whole where thing, we try to capture that in a different block. Foo equal. Okay. Now, the issue with this is, I should be able to do that right there. It doesn't like, I feel like this right here is supposed to go right here. Yeah. I'm trying to convert this to C sharp is bash operation allows a maximum 100 entities in a bash which must share the same program, so you may need to split the entities in the program. All right, so how do I get this thing working? So generate partition A equals, and then in my case, put that right here. Okay, so here's the filter. I don't know what this for is right here. I don't know what that's used for. Oh, yes, I do. All right, I know what this is for now. So the select is a map. The select is a map in which I give it. Let me see. It should be like select. And then you say function some value, and it's going to be, how do they have it in here? They had should just be able to say this. I should just be able to say this. Doesn't like that. The type A string is not compatible with I generic list. Okay, so what do you want me to do? If I just do this? You don't like that either, huh? All right, so what do you want me to do? Um, I could do, I could change this. I could do something like, all right, I'm struggling to do the C sharp syntax. Then I might be able to do this, in which I say, uh, sequence dot filter. I don't know if that's gonna work. Yeah, that doesn't work. Um, function, let's say some value goes to foo, and I put in the value. Yeah, that's not gonna work. How do I push this in here? Type constraint mismatch the type, which is some abstract parameter value or abstract parameter maps to a string. It's not compatible with a system collections generic iList string. Okay, well, you're telling me what I should be using. So look at this over here. They have new string. Yeah, select new string. Okay. Okay. So I feel like I just do this right here. Nope, you don't like that. Okay. Well, do I do a how do I do this? Do I do a array? That's a string array. So do I do a array dot I don't know what you call it, create? And so this is the part where it's not compatible with a I list of string. Okay. Oh, in the C sharp code, they just have a new and then they have a string array. And then they just initialize it with that. All right, well, let's imagine that I did that. Let's imagine that I had let blah equals what? And I said array dot create array whose elements are all initially given the value. Okay, array dot create. Let's do that. Nope. It says it takes account. Okay. Um, takes account of what? How to batch operation. This is there's only one item in here. That's just a row key. Right. So you just say create one and then maybe I'll just say row key in here. And then can I just say, can I just do this? Theoretically, that should work. And no, it doesn't. Type mismatch to type. Boom, boom is not compatible with system collection IList string. Okay. All right. So what if I just say system dot collections dot I just do is array list the same thing as maybe it's system that we'll do array list. I'm not sure if that matters. I feel like it needs to be IList. What does this do? If I do that, no. Okay. System dot collections is there generic in here? Generic dot or list in here like that. And it wants a string. And I can do something like that. There we go. Bingo. And then now what? And I can just have a sequence in here and then just say row key, right? Row key, like that. Okay, so what did I actually accomplish? We could call that filter. I don't know. Okay. This foo over here, is that being used? Yeah. Oh, that's a filter, right? Okay. So if that's a filter, call this I don't know. Okay. Call it a match and call this one, can't use match. Okay. So they're both filters. I don't know what I'll call this row key item, whatever. I don't know. All right, and then over here, call this filter. Okay. So now what? I did all this to accomplish what? They have a for each loop, and then they execute a query and they pass in the projection query for each event in or for each blah in table dot execute query. Okay. Okay. So they have a notion of a table. Okay, here's a cloud table right here. Okay, got it. All right, so that's the cloud table. We can view up here. And I mean, do you really need to be a projection query, or can we just call you a query like that? Okay. Now what? Now that we have you over here, I'm gonna bring you over there. This cloud table is what I'm using. So in the code down here, they say for each whatever, and okay, so and then they have batch. All right, so in what? All right, so in my case, I'm going to have a query. Uh, what is this? This is this enumerable? Like, can I say sequence dot iter, and then say function, and then say something like that. Would it let me do that? It says I'm missing this right here. Would it let me do something like that? And it says nope. This table query is a dynamic table entity. Okay. So you're not a sequence. Well, what are you? What a table query implements what? What do you implement? No. I mean, okay. So I don't even know how to do. I don't even know how to write for loops in F sharp. How do I do this? What are you, table query? What are you? C sharp table query. What are you? Here's a table query class. Like, what are you? What do you inherit from? I need to know what you inherit from. It looks like it doesn't. It's object and okay. All right. So how do I write a for each? It looks like it doesn't inherit from any I enumerable. So then say F sharp. How you do a for each loop? Like literally, how you do a for each loop? Here's a for each loop. For a pattern and whatever do. Okay. So if that's the case, let's say for let's say pattern and okay, for item and then they say enumerable expression do. Well, this isn't really an enumerable. I don't know query. And then they say do, and then type constraint mismatches type table query is not compatible with type sequence A. Dude, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know what you want me to do. Uh, um, something tells me I need to do something like this, maybe. Enumerable. Say I order it. I enumerable. I don't know what the I order enumerable is. Well, I mean, it's in here. But this is read quickly. Yeah. Like, I was just going to put I enumerable. I was just going to do this right here. But it's like, nope. Okay. So, like, what do we do? They say system of length express one type argument, but it's given zero. Okay. So, what you want me to like do this? Is that what you want me? I don't know what to put here, dude. This table query. I don't know what to put here. This is supposed to be an enumerable expression. All right. I get that, but I don't know what to put here. This where does this where come from? Like, I mean, this is link, all right? Um, yeah, here, like they're already using link expressions, unless the link isn't even being used though. Yeah, it's just not being used. Like they have all this built in without link. So what I think is there should probably be a for each that's already on this type, right? Because it's not using link. It's its own thing. So it should be like a nope. There's a take, there's a select, I need to iterate through here. What I could do is I could get the count and just do a while loop on it. That's what I could do. So like here's a take count, and then maybe I could just pass the index. So like here's the index right here. X equal. It won't let me do that. The field constructor item is not constructed. All right, so you won't let me do that. Are you sure you won't let me do that? Hold up. Here's the select columns. Yeah, man, I'm kind of stuck. How to go kill you? How are they iterating through here? var e and table.x. Oh, that's why. They say table.execute. Okay. That's how they do it. All right, so let me go back. They say for each item, I'm gonna spell for each wrong. For each, okay. Sharp, how do you do this? Hold up. Loops. They say for pattern. All right, so it's just for, and then they say item in, and then they have this right here. We call this cloud table. Execute whatever, and then in here, we can put do at the end of here. They say execute is not defined. Sure you are, but I'm not going to trip on you right now. So then they have batch operation dot delete, and this is what they have here. Batch operation up here. So they have a that's defined right before all this. So they have a here they have let batch operation equals that. I don't think that's to be called now. Is it? Can I say use that? Is this disposable? Looks like nope. Okay. So then theoretically I should be able to say batch operation dot and they say delete. I don't see delete on here. Oh, it's not remove. Okay, delete is on here. I don't. Okay. That delete. Okay. So that pass this right here. This execute query it doesn't like. Oh, table. I thought table was a cloud table. Get table reference. Okay, so do I even have a get table reference up here? Here's a cloud table right here. Oh, you know what? Hold up. Execute a sync, and then I await it over here. I don't know for what it's worth. Can I do that? No. Well, this isn't execute query sync. It's just execute a sync. Hold up. What's up here? That's execute a sync, and this one is just execute query. Okay. All right. So, where's this defined at? I have a table, execute query, projection. This is execute query segmented async. Okay. I do that. No. All right. So it's already inside the. Does not take one argument. Final taken two. Okay. So here's my question. For each item, oh god. How do I do this? Maybe I take this out, have something called result, and then say let result equals that. And then they have execute query segmented async. And this is supposed to take, oh my god, this is supposed to take something called T. Okay. And what else? Table query, and it looks like a token. Token, I'm just gonna put null in here. That shit, no. Oh my god. Because it's a sync, I should be able to say a sync dot await task, sync dot await task. That should work, man. Oh, okay. So then it says the parameter is missing a constraint when T the value is not the value constructor is not defined. It says this is not defined. And it is right. It's not defined because it's called query. Okay. Now what? So a type parameter is missing a constraint when T. It literally has when T. Okay. I know what you're saying. I'm just trying to figure out examples of how it's used. Like, do I literally? Let me see. I don't. Let me keep looking. Uh, yeah. Why are you so complicated? All right. So, oh, well, we got to put a thing right here. And that's still not enough. Too happy. Okay. So, hopefully, a type parameter is missing a constraint when T. Well, I have the when T right here. Okay. So, I guess I guess it wants me to do this. I guess it literally wants me to do that. Nope. All right. So, it says T colon new unit dash T. Okay. I'm almost positive I did this before. New colon unit. Unit. I'm almost positive. This looks so familiar. I don't know what code I got. I just want to paste this in. But I already have that in another SID. No, I don't. Okay. So it's saying do this. And I don't know what you want me to do. I said, no, no. All right, what do you want me to do? I added this in here. You don't like it. Okay. If I take this away, then you can play. Because you're saying that a type parameter is missing a straight when t colon. Okay. All right. So I'm going to say when t like this is literally it. Like I should literally be able to take this and paste it in and it should just work. But it doesn't work. I don't know what to do. Unexpected keyword when in types. I'll do that. Nope. I'll do that. Nope. I'll do that. Nope. I'll do that. Nope. That. Nope. Mm. All right. So the next step is to parameter is missing a constraint when t blah 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 blah. All right. So let me use this one here. Let me see. If I pull up my error, I'm just gonna copy this notepad. Okay. Go into Google, type this in. I don't know what you want me to do. So Stack Overflow. Trying to make downstream static member constraints as fluid can be an exercise in frustration. Unfortunately, it's so unnecessary. Just mark the function that line and let them be inferred. I don't know what any of this stuff means, man. Can I do that? Okay. Okay. So it makes me think I could do all this stuff like the. Nope. All right. So now what? Um, this is supposed to be delete entities async, right? So what did I just accomplish? Go back. What did I just accomplish? There's this delete entities async that I just wrote. It took a while, and it just takes a partition key. So then over here, that's okay. Oh, yo, there's no way any normal person is going to be able to get through this. All right, so that right there. All right. I don't even know what I was trying to solve. The event stream maintains order of events. Okay. So we have some events, and what I want to do is verify that this stream table, this isn't right. It returns a table query segment. Uh, it returns the table query segment. This create sequence. Um, Give me a second. This create sequence is going to return a result if the stuff was created. Okay. So then we read. After we create it, we read given the stream ID. And that's something that should be the same. Right. So get rid of that. I don't need that right now. They both have the same stream ID. Um, Everything else can be other event type. All right. Yeah, everything else we can put right here. Okay. And so we read in the events, and that's whatever. And what I really want to do is, so somehow like this is a sequence. So what I really want to do is I want to take the stream and I'm going to say stream. I want to do this. I'm going to say sequence dot to list, and then I'm going to have a function that is going to have a head. I don't know what you want to call it. We could say first, second, like that, and then say tail. And basically, like we don't even care about second. Like that could be a wild card. But we want to say we want to make sure that our first dot pick its row key. We want to say that it should equal some event dot first dot event type. How about that? It should equal. Oh shoot, that's a string. Should equal some event dot event type, and this is supposed to be value from. So that say value from event type that. Okay. And it says it doesn't know how to process this. That's fine because we're still missing. Anything else is going to be a assert fail. Okay. look up on object of indeterminate type based on prior to this program typing the same. I don't need anything. It says you're a string, and that's a string. So what's the should equal? That's like me saying this right here. That's fine. Well, you're a string, so what's the issue? Do I need to wrap you in parentheses? I don't understand what I need to do. So, um, right, you're a string. Like, what? Like, what do you want me to do? You want me to do this? Um, event entity. I mean, it's already clear that you are an event entity. So, what do you want me to do? Or hold up, I did that wrong. Um, that, and then say dot. Should be something like this. And it says, it doesn't know what I'm talking about here. That shouldn't work. Okay, apparently this works. I don't know how it works. Whatever. I don't know how it works. I don't know compilers. I don't know any of this. Um, this is really the verification right here. Like, none of this other stuff matters. That's the verification. I mean, I could do like verify right here, but I'm not. So now what? The name of this test was event stream maintains order. Okay. And this is that should just work. Debug. And it does. Now, if I look at my storage explorer and try to refresh on the event, it didn't do a teardown. Um, okay. It didn't do a teardown, but we see that it created the two events. But this failed. That failed. Okay, so let's put a breakpoint there. And let's delete everything in here. How do I do that? Delete. Okay. All right. And so let's debug again. All right. Our partition key is some stream ID. Okay. If I refresh this, it's going to have the items in here. Some stream ID, some stream ID. Okay. Step into it. And I don't even know where to look. We'll put a breakpoint right here. And run that. Okay. My result should have stuff in it, and it looks like it does. Okay. I call it delete, delete. You know what I didn't do is there's supposed to be like some sync thing in here. Let me go back over here. Execute batch. I gotta have this in here. That's why. It's called cloud table execute batch. I think, right? No. Why is everything so? This is called execute batch async. Yeah. So then I should just be able to say do. Oh. All right. This is all right. So does this return anything? It returns a list of table results, and like I don't care about that. So one thing I know I do need is I need to async dot wait async dot wait task and uh, maybe do a ignore at the end. Can I do something like that? No. All right. So what if I just said like that's one something let and say blah equals and so that's going to return something. But I really shouldn't have to do all this. I should just be able to say I should just be able to say do. I should just be able to delete this. And it should just work. And that's fine. Nope, nope. It says nope. I returned something. Okay. So I want to say something like async ignore. Can I do something like that? Nope. How do I ignore this result? Sync dot. All right. So sync dot await task. And can I do a sync dot ignore here? Dot ignore here. No. Dot ignore here. Okay. I think that's it. So if we go back to Storage Explorer, I delete you people, refresh, refresh, and then I rerun this test. Now this should work. You should work, my friend, and you should pass. The freak. All right, so it doesn't pass. And it says that string length was 15, but was 21. Strings differ. Good description. That's cool. All right. So what's the actual issue? Well, E-type is some other event. Yeah. No. The how's this work? When I'm reading events, it is a ledger. It should an event stream should start at the very beginning and it should be in kind of like ascending order. So for this to have some other event for first is wrong. If I look at my Storage Explorer, we see that we see that some other stuff is always the first one, and that's wrong. All right, so if we look at the events that we have, what order is that? Some event, some other event. All right, and some event is some stream ID, which that's always going to be the same. Some event type. Okay. So all this stuff looks right. Okay. Um. So this is just it's just stored raw. At least it looks like it's stored raw. I expect this to be in order. And older, the most recent events that get persisted to this storage table are at the end, and that's not the case. If I could just do a refresh real fast. Yeah, so that's not the case. So now we we create sequence. We're going to put a break point here and put a breakpoint right here. We're going to go ahead and delete this. Going to run this test again. And if we look at our events, that's the correct order. Okay. And if I go to create, the very first time this create async gets called, it should have some event and not some other event as the I don't know what you call it as a I don't know, as the event type. So this is going to be why can I not some stream ID boom all right, if I look at here some JSON value, this is what I want. So it looks like in Storage Explorer or SQL Storage, the stuff looks right. Some event type, and then we say create a sync. If I go here and do a refresh, it's some JSON. Okay. Then I hit a 5. And now we have some other JSON, right? And right now we're not going to have anything when I refresh except for the first one. I hit F5. Now when I do a refresh, okay. So the last entity that gets saved is the first one that shows up, and is the first one item that gets read in. Okay. So that's the way it works, which means that what I thought was the first item is really the last item. And so it should, When I call Azure table read events, I just need to reverse it. Because the default behavior that I want for reading events is ascending. And the definition of ascending is for dates and times. Ascending means that earlier values precede later ones. So that's what I want. So this read events async is read events ascending. That's what I'm naming it to. Renaming it to. And that will have a reverse at the end. How do I do this? It's entities, which is this. So how do I do this? Get it? How do I reverse this? Because right now this is just a. It returns a. I figure out how to do this. I'm going to say let sorted. Just say let ascending equals. And then say entities sequence dot. Can I just say rev? Should let me do that. And then should be it. That's ascending. Okay. So now if I run this, it should pass. And say no. So what happened this time? Okay, that's fine. So let's clean all this up. Oh. Delete this too. All right. Rerun the test and it should pass. No. So now what? We have our stream. It still says some other event. I don't see how that's possible. How's that possible? I just sorted you. I just sorted you. How is that possible? Put a break part right there. Let's run all the way to the end and let's see if the teardown actually worked. Refresh. No. That's another issue that's all right. So figure out why this isn't working. Ascending entities was first listed as some meta. Okay. I took it and I reversed it. And so if I look at the first one and the reverse, it's not working. So sending doesn't have a value. Dude, okay. Regardless of me changing the order, it still like reorders it. Regardless of me literally changing the order of this and returning it, it's still because I thought rev is reverse, right? That's what I thought. Hold up. I thought I just checked it. Hold up. Sequence dot rev. Yeah, so it's reverse. I return the reverse, and it's still. I'm looking at this. It it's still pointing to some other. Um, this can't be right. It's still pointing to some other. I. How's that possible? More refresh. Delete these. Some JSON, some other. That looks right. Because I think it was reverse last time. So that's right. We, yeah, I'm so confused. Hold up. Run this again. Okay, if we go back, and that's what I want. This ascending isn't letting me look at the result. Yes, it is. Now it is. That has some other in there, which is weird, which means that if I look at entities and I look at that, some JSON value. So now we're going to return what we originally had. Okay, and I don't know. We're coming out this ascending right here. We're going to delete both of these. Okay, we're going to rerun this again. We're going to look at entities. I expect it to be, yeah. So there's something that I clearly don't understand because now the order just changed again. And if I say, okay, hit F5, then that fails. So you see this. So it looks like, let me delete this again. It looks like when this doesn't make sense. How's this? This is a read. How is a read changing how things are stored? Is it? I don't understand this. Run it again. It's. I don't. It's the only thing I'm modifying is the read, and somehow the storing of data is different. I don't understand. This is the only thing I've modified. Let's see. Get stream by stream ID. Event stream maintains order of events. Um, I'm confused, man. Um, I'm so confused. I'm literally just it's to read events, and somehow that's modifying the order in Azure Storage. And that stream that I get back, it it's weird because I don't understand it. It's let's close this. This entities is a table query segment. What numbers are on here? There's results. Okay. And that's a list. I wonder, so if I do that, I wonder if that makes a difference. Entities dot results. Maybe that forces a change or something. Okay. So then debug again. The very first item is going to be some other. If I look at my some other, all right, and that's not what I want. So then I say, all right, kill that. Delete all this. Then I'm going to say reverse. Okay. And turn this a method. Oh boy. Okay. Check my storage table. There's nothing in there. Then run this again. 98. These errors here. What just happened? Get rid of this. I don't know what just happened. The stream is now a unit. That's not right. Oh, because okay. So do that. That's where that's whatever. Go back to my source table again. Refresh. Delete. Run the test again. Some crazy voodoo. Okay. So my entities are some other. It's just not right. No matter what I do, I can't get it to the order that I need. No matter what I do. So now, like some other will always be at the very front every single time, no matter what I do. Um, no, no matter what I do. So I don't reverse it. And I just return this right here, right? Which I think I already did. You would think that if I if I cancel out the reverse, that it would change. Let me refresh, delete again, debug. I want my results to be like it doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter what I do. It literally doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter what I do. I don't understand this. And so I'm tapping out. I'm gonna terminate this broadcast. And I'm out. End.